Emma believed she had everything a woman could dream of. A comfortable suburban house in Dallas, Texas, with a neat white fence and rose bushes she cared for every morning. Her neighbors often envied her life. David, her husband of 8 years, worked at a financial firm, and together they looked like the ideal couple. At barbecues and parties, people often whispered, "Look at them. So perfect, so in love." But Emma knew appearances could be deceiving. Over the last 2 years, David had grown cold. He wasn't cruel, but he was distant. Dinner conversations had shrunk to a few words. His phone always buzzed at odd hours. He came home late and smelled faintly of cologne that wasn't his usual. Emma kept brushing her suspicions aside. He's stressed from work, she told herself. Every marriage has phases. But one evening, while folding laundry, she found a hotel key card in his jacket pocket. Her heart skipped a beat. She froze, staring at the card like it was a weapon. When David walked in, she confronted him immediately. "What is this, David?" she asked, holding the card in front of him. His eyes widened for a split second before he composed himself. "You're imagining things, Emma. Stop snooping through my things." The sharpness in his voice stung her. But what hurt most was the emptiness in his eyes. Emma's world was beginning to crack. And deep down she knew the truth was darker than she wanted to admit. Emma couldn't let it go. At night, she lay awake listening to David's shallow breathing, wondering where he had been, who he was with. Her once peaceful home felt like a stranger's house. One night, fate handed her the evidence she feared and needed. David had left his laptop open in the study room. Emma hesitated, her hands trembling, but curiosity and pain pushed her forward. She clicked on the browser, and there it was, an email thread. The woman's name was Rachel. The messages were explicit, raw, filled with passion Emma hadn't seen from David in years. "I can't wait to see you again. Last night was unforgettable. I wish Emma never existed." Emma felt as if her breath had been stolen. She scrolled down, each word cutting her deeper. Pictures, hotel bookings, secret dinners, David's double life unfolded before her. She slammed the laptop shut, her body shaking. Tears burned her eyes, but instead of collapsing, something inside her hardened. The betrayal cut her soul, but it also ignited a flame she didn't know existed. "This won't end like a sad story," she whispered to herself. "He thinks I'm weak. But he has no idea who he's dealing with." Emma spent days pretending to be the same loving wife. She smiled, cooked his favorite meals, even laughed at his empty jokes. But behind the mask, she was preparing. She became a detective in her own home. She copied every email and saved it on a hidden USB drive. She took photographs of his credit card bills, the hotel expenses, the jewelry he bought for Rachel. She even followed him once, parking far behind his car, watching him walk into a fancy restaurant with Rachel clinging to his arm. Her heart broke again, but her resolve grew stronger. Finally, she met with a divorce lawyer, Sarah, a sharp woman in her 40s. Emma laid everything on the table, emails, receipts, photographs. Sarah leaned back and said, "Texas is a community property state. If you want, Emma, we can take him for everything. The house, half his assets, even spousal support." Emma exhaled slowly. It wasn't just about money, it was about justice. For 8 years, she had given David her trust, her youth, her love. He had gambled it away for cheap thrills. Now he would pay the price. She opened a new bank account secretly and began transferring small amounts of money from their joint account, preparing for the day she would walk away. Every night, as David kissed her forehead before bed, Emma imagined the moment he would realize he had lost everything. Part 4, The Fall. The day arrived sooner than she expected. David came home one evening, humming, his tie loose, his phone buzzing. But instead of the familiar home he left in the morning, he walked into emptiness. The big screen TV was gone. The expensive watch collection he adored was missing. Even the golf set he bragged about to his colleagues had vanished. Emma sat calmly at the dining table, a folder in front of her. She didn't look up as David stormed in. "What the hell is going on here?" he shouted. Emma slid the folder across the table. His eyes scanned the first page, then widened as he flipped through photographs, emails, and receipts. It was all there, his betrayal in black and white. "I filed for divorce today," Emma said in a steady voice. "And guess what, David? I'm keeping the house. You'll be lucky if you walk away with your car." His face turned crimson. Words stumbled on his lips, but nothing coherent came out. He was trapped, and he knew it. Emma stood up, walked past him, and whispered in his ear. "You wanted a life without me. Congratulations. You have nothing now." David collapsed into a chair, the weight of his choices crashing down on him. For the first time, Emma saw fear in his eyes, and it felt like justice. Months passed. Emma rebuilt her life piece by piece. She started her own small business, something she had always dreamed of. She surrounded herself with supportive friends, people who valued her worth. For the first time in years, she smiled freely, without fear, without pretending. David, on the other hand, was a shadow of his former self. He lived in a small rented apartment. His reputation at work ruined. His money drained by legal fees and alimony. Rachel had left him the moment things got tough. Now, he was alone, just like he deserved. Sometimes, Emma thought of the past. Of the girl she used to be, the trusting wife. The woman who believed in fairy tales. But she no longer mourned her. She had been reborn from the fire of betrayal. Stronger, wiser, unbreakable. Her words to David the day she left him still echoed in his mind. "You thought you could break me. But you only freed me." And in the silence of his empty apartment, David realized that losing Emma was the worst punishment life could ever give him.